After working with literally thousands of applicants, there's one common trend I've been able to figure out, and that is if you want a fully funded research degree or even a fully funded MS degree in USA, then you're in luck, because these are the factors that will help you. Now, these usually always remain common no matter which type of program you go for, as long as you're doing MS in the US and sometimes even in Canada. These factors definitely do come into play. So if you're interested in that, let's continue watching and make sure that you get all the points in order to do that. Okay, so I'm gonna keep this a quick one. I don't want you to actually waste a lot of time on this video, but just get all of the important pointers and make sure if some of these are not looking good on your profile, go ahead and improve them. It's gonna be different for everyone. Okay, number one, your GPA. Your GPA is something you cannot rule out. It has to be top notch. If it's out of 4, it should be 3.9 or 4 itself. If it's out of 10, it should be over 9. You want a GPA, you want a fully funded degree, you need to have a GPA of 9. That's just the simple truth. There are exceptions. I'm not saying that exceptions are not there. Definitely 100% exceptions are there. If you want to maximize your chances, make sure your GPA is over 9. Next point, second number, research papers. One of the most important points, literally, people do not pay enough attention to this pointer. Research papers, and that too in a good journal, IEEE, Springer, Elsevier, one of these journals with a high impact factor, you will be golden. You will be literally one more step closer to getting a scholarship for your program. Okay, number 3 are the professors that you pick. Whenever you go on for any sort of a degree that is an MS degree, usually you will find that they're research-based programs. And what you want to do, you want to find one professor from every single university. They cannot be just anyone, but someone who is doing what you have experience in. Maybe you have experience in CAD. If a professor is doing research in CAD, you can go ahead and approach him and you can say that this is my previous work and I would like to work with you in the future. Remember that this synchronization should be there. It's an absolutely necessary point. And as we actually go on and I'll explain some of the other pointers, you'll see that the pointers towards the end are much more important. Okay, so continue watching because some of these pointers are not so simple. I know that this one is something that you may have already thought about, but the professors are important and that cannot be disregarded. So I wanted to cover that. Okay, fourth point, work experience. If you have some work experience, you should leverage that. Show that you have industry experience and you can make the program a lot more, you can say, diverse, right? In a way, because your work experience, if it's unique, if it's not centralized, if it's not something that everyone has experience in, then you can actually go ahead and leverage that point. You can say that I have a unique experience. Maybe you're combining two fields, and that's something that doesn't happen very often. No one else will have that sort of an experience usually in the class. Okay, take advantage of that. Show that, and with that diversity, the universities are always looking for diversity. If you can show that you're different person, unique person out of the batch, they will definitely want you, and because they want you, they'll offer you a scholarship. Got it? Let's move on. The number 5 point over here is the undergrad university. If your undergrad university is not top ranked, that's gonna hurt your chances, unfortunately. If you have an undergrad university which is probably within the top 10, top 20 in your country, that's gonna benefit you so much more. But there's not much we can do about this, so let's move on to the next point. The next one is your application to the safe universities. A lot of people do not understand that when they're applying to ambitious universities, their profile may be good enough to get into Purdue, but if you're applying to Stanford, then you already know you're going for a very ambitious program, and this may not bode well because they will also have more ambitious applicants. And because of that, it's important to understand that if they don't really have a particular need, right, that they need you in the program and only you because you're the best candidate out of all the profiles that they've seen on that day, well, chances are you won't really get that sort of a acceptance, right, where they want you so badly that they'll also want your scholarship. So make sure that you actually have applied to some safe universities. That's literally drastically increasing your chances. And trust me, the quality of the universities is important, but the universities in the US, it's not like if you're not in the top 10, top 20, you won't get job offers. It's definitely not like that. You'll still be eligible for top-notch jobs in the industry. Okay, so I hope that one point you can understand. Let me just remove this annoying background one here from here. Okay, anyway, so the other things that I believe you should also take care of are number 7, your numerical scores. Apart from the GPA, that is your GRE, your TOEFL, your IELTS, your GMAT, whatever you're taking. Apart from that, your SOPs, your LORs, they are also very, very important. Okay, you simply cannot disregard them. They are extremely important. They tell your story to the committee, and unless you can project your story in a way such that they understand that you are the perfect applicant for them, it's definitely going to be a chase, when it comes to getting into that university and also getting a scholarship. So make sure that your SOPs, your LORs are top notch. Your professors are good from the LORs, the ones that you're taking it from. It's very important. Now comes the location factor. This is something that not all people know, and this is very, very important. Look for areas which are not very costly and which give a lot of scholarships. Just by giving you some examples, where I've known that international students get a lot of scholarships in these areas. Now, these are not the costliest ones. These are not California, Boston, or Washington, or New York. Definitely not. We definitely do not go ahead and apply to those places, because it's really not going to actually get you a scholarship so easily. Maybe you'll get it for a few $1,000s, but not really a fully funded program. If you want that, these are a few places you can look at. Look at Texas, look at Georgia, look at North Dakota, look at Utah, look at Idaho. There's just so many other places which are not as popular, but if you're just looking for a scholarship, a fully funded degree, and that's all you care about, you can look at some of these areas which are not very popular at first, but they will still allow you to get a degree from the US, and then you can move on to other areas when you're having your job search and all of that. Okay, so that's one more important point. And the final point I would like to make over here, which is the 9th point, is you need to take a look at the public universities, the state universities. A lot of times you do not do that. You disregard those. You think that the private ones are the best. Stanford, Harvard, you take a look at these universities. MIT is, I believe, also public, but still, also look at state universities. What about the state universities? There's California State University. There's, similarly, there's Georgia State University. You will go on and apply to Georgia Tech. You will go on and apply to Caltech, but you will not look at California State or Georgia State. That's a huge mistake. If you actually genuinely want a scholarship from a university, if you want your degree to be fully funded, you have to look at safe universities. Okay, it's very rare that you will get a full scholarship or a full ride in one of the top most universities, unless of course you are a person of national importance. Maybe you have done extremely well in the research in your field. In that case, definitely you can have it from the top 10 as well. But otherwise, try to go for some lower ranked ones as well. Just having them in your list doesn't matter. You will maybe apply to 2-3 extra universities, but is it really not worth it when you can actually get a full ride? I would say it pretty much is, right? So these are some of the factors that I've seen have been very, very common when we do applications for applicants, and they give us this criteria that, we don't really care so much about the ranking, but we care a lot about the finances. These are the strategies that we take. These are the approaches that we take, and these are the universities that we specially focus on. Remember, going to a state university, it's not a bad thing as long as they're offering you a very good offer with a very good scholarship. Okay, apart from that, you already have the private universities where you can go on to, right? So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk to you about today. I hope that this video gives you more insight into which universities to target. Apart from that, there's a lot more info available now about a lot of these universities have waived off the GRE, and I've actually made sure that you can actually access those, and we keep updating the list. If you want that, the link will be in the description, the link will be in the comments as well. Hopefully that should help you understand which universities you can maybe go for better. Okay.